Republican Congressman Tom Reed, he is a member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus. What were you thinking as you saw this showdown in the Oval Office, and especially with an eye towards trying to solve a stalemate and prevent a shutdown?
Well, obviously, you saw the negotiations, I guess, in live feed. But the bottom line here is, there's a solution here. I think we're blowing this out of proportion in regards to the politics that's taking over this issue. What we should be focusing on is, do we believe, as Democrats and Republicans, that we should have a secure border? And if we agree on that, what is so hard about having a mixture of wall, structures, technology, and resources at the border to keep our American citizens, our fellow American citizens, safe? That is the heart of the matter, and that's why politics, when it takes over, the American people lose, and that's why I think most of the Americans join me in saying we're sick and tired of it. Get it done.
Can you support $1.3 billion in funding for the wall as part of what you just described, sort of cobbling together these things that create border security? Is that an okay number by your standard?
That might be a little low given what I know about the technology and the border security and the structures that are necessary, but I think there's a number there that we should be able to reach across the aisle to come to an agreement on, and that's why Senator Schumer really is the heart of this. Is he going to get caught up in politics, or is he going to negotiate in good faith and find the money that's necessary to secure the border?
So what is the money necessary? You have your colleagues in the Freedom Caucus there in the House who are saying $5 billion or bust. You say 1.3 is not enough. Where's the number? What is the number that you think is necessary?
I clearly think it's possibly right between the two there, somewhere in the middle. I think that's a reasonable position to take into this issue. But at the end of the day, this does need to be negotiated, and Senator Schumer is the key to this. If he's going to put border security as the priority, then I think we can come to a rapid decision and come to an agreement. If it's about politics and protecting and drawing a line in the sand about a wall and not giving into the hard left, that is going to lead to a shutdown. That's going to lead to a situation that's not going to be able to be negotiated out of.
When the president said that he would be proud to shut down the government for border security, and you have Democrats putting up money, you do think it's low, but they're putting up money for the wall, for border security. Do you worry about the politics of a president of your party saying he's proud to shut down the government?
No, because I think it's clear. The American people are seeing exactly what this debate is about. This is about politics of the word wall, about that structure being the politics that's dividing the nation right now. And what we need to do is get past that. And the number that they're putting on the table, they're not putting a number on the table in order to do what's right and secure the border. They're putting a number on the table just to try to avoid the politics of it. And the politics has overtaken this issue. And at the end of the day, the American people lose, because if you don't have a secure border, you got American citizens that are threatened by the criminals and the threats that are coming through the border that are going unchecked right now.
How do you square that after your party passed tax cuts last year, and we saw the federal deficit jump 17% to $779 billion, that you're talking about, you said somewhere between $1.3 billion and $5 billion for the wall? How do Republicans, historically the party of fiscal conservatives, justify that expense and try to hold on to that mantle of fiscal conservatism?
Well, as you see, as a result of tax reform, revenue into the federal coffers are up 2%. That is a record high level of revenue coming into the U.S. Treasury.
The deficit's up 17%.
Because of a spending-driven problem, and that's why prioritizing the investments that are made, and border security should be one of our top priorities. Keeping our fellow American citizens safe, Brianna, is something we should be able to agree upon. And that's all the American people are looking for. Just keep us safe from the bad guys, but have a border that functions, allows people to pursue the American dream, but at the same time, you cannot get bogged down into this divisiveness of a structure, i.e. a wall.
But the deficit is up 17%.
And that's because of the spending that keeps going up at skyrocketing rates. Revenues are up 2%,
but then you're
spending is up 7%.
Talking about billions of dollars of expenditure here in this case.
Yeah, this is about having the honest conversation about what is the sufficient number to keep the border secure. And I do believe that number is somewhere between the two, 1.3 and $5 billion. Obviously, if you're going to follow this logic all the way through, then Senator Schumer should just pull the 1.3 billion and just put $0 billion, because there's no money to put into the border security. That, to me, is not a realistic position, and it highlights this is about politics at this point in time. We need to move past that, because the American people lose in that situation.
I hear you. I hear you blaming spending. I hear you say there needs to be an honest discussion about spending. But this is just a proposal for more spending. That's not a part of this discussion. I mean, if we're putting the politics aside, that's not really a part of this discussion.
Well, no. This is about having an honest conversation about what is necessary, financially speaking, to secure the border. And I think that number is somewhere between 1.3 and 5 billion. And so I think that's where the negotiation should be focused on. But what you're seeing happen is this is all about hard left politics of we cannot have a wall being given to the president because of politics. That is wrong. And that is where I'll be a voice to say, cut that out. Let's get to the heart of the issue and keep Americans safe.